All right, welcome back.
Where the governor, it all started with the State House Assembly, where the governor, Fubara, directed his chief of staff to burn down the assembly in a way to avert the suspected impeachment. That evening, Edison was in government house with many of his boys, including the former chairman of Obiakbo, one Mr. Chijoke Ihunwa. I was there with them when a bag of money was handed over to Edison for that operation.
Serious allegations. Well, in a twist of events, Dr. Nweke's wife claimed that her husband was kidnapped and made his statements under duress. However, Nweke later refuted her claims, stating that he was safe and that his wife could not speak for him on civil service matters. He maintained that his allegations against Fubara were not made under duress.
My husband is in trouble. 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 Look at the message I sent to him. See the message I sent to him. I said, Daddy, why? I said, where are you in hostage? I said, why didn't you talk to me? He said, the messages I sent to him. Oh, he did not reply me. His numbers are not going through. His numbers are not going through. Nigeria helped me. Nigeria helped me.
After some hours of addressing the press, I saw a video of my wife trending online that I was kidnapped and that I made my statement under duress. I've already debunked that. My wife cannot speak for me on civil service matters when I'm still healthy and mentally very fit. Let me say it again. I was not kidnapped. The level of stealing of public funds and assets witnessed in the last 2 years is mind-boggling and never ever experienced in the history of the states.
All right, so that was the video that was...
All right, so can you hear me, sir?
I'm listening.
All right, good. So there's in the headlines as we speak. Well, first of all, there was a behind-the-scenes video, that original video that I played of somebody literally saying behind the scenes that you should read from the script. But then, you know, obviously the wife came out. But then what we're looking at in the headlines as of in the last 2 days has been some alleged defamation, some things that is claiming that Fubara had done, embezzlement, things like that. So maybe you can bring us up to speed while we're talking about this.
Well, Ola, what can we say about this event other than to go into the good book, the Holy Bible, where it speaks of why are false witnesses standing up against me? You understand what is involved? The stakes are really high. You're talking of state capture. What is in display here? The fight that they have not told us about. And by now, Fubara should be speaking. He should be a man. He's almost like alone in this, but it's just a crucible. I can understand what he is going through. I have been there before. Whether as an high school graduating student or even in the university, you and your so-called comrades will come together and take certain action with, thinking that, oh, this is collective responsibility. One after the other, they would fall away and then you'll be standing alone. That is one moment. If you are a Christian, the Holy Spirit wants to give you that boldness to be able to own up to your part in it, or that, oh, well, if every other person is not going to stand up, I did it. It's a test of honor. If it's not, none of us is a fool. If anybody has not been able to read the script, has not been able to read that script, that this is about reducing a whole elected governor to a minion to a nobody around a so-called Superman who sees himself as a godfather, then maybe they are saying that there is no right-thinking person in Nigeria. Yes, we may not have been there when all those things were initiated. Whatever was the core of the disagreement between Fubara and Nweke, yes, we can say for sure that this is how it all started. But from what we know, and this is not new, if people have a sense of history, there is nothing that is transpiring in Rivers State that is new. We have heard how the then Justice Sowemimo said concerning the treasonable felony trial of Obafemi Awolowo, that his hands were tied. We have heard of how many people were arranged to give false witnesses against Obafemi Awolowo and some other persons in Nigeria. We were in Nigeria during the Second Republic when a prominent politician was deported from Nigeria, allegedly accused of not being a Nigerian, and how that transpired later, and the person still came back to Nigeria before our very eyes. Atiku Abubakar, who had been vice president of Nigeria, had been accused of not being a Nigerian, that he was a Cameroonian. So all kinds of things happen, transpire in Nigeria. But what we can say is that this is beyond normal. It's beyond the ordinary. This is extraordinary when the head of service to a governor or to the government of a state would do things like this. And we know that governors have been kidnapped in Nigeria before. So the fact that we could even hear that somebody was saying, read from the script, and the wife also started crying, alleging that the husband had been kidnapped, that this is not and a so-called professor coming up, even in a country where we know that vice chancellors have become chancellors of vices when it comes to electoral manipulations. What else are they going to tell us about Nigeria? But we cannot give up on the country. We cannot give up. We won't give up, because that is the federated hope of millions, if not billions, of people all over the world. The shameful thing about this is that we are always quick to say, oh, Western imperialists are doing things to us. Now, we have an opportunity to do right by ourselves. What are we doing to ourselves? So if at the end of the day, like they say in pidgin English, like play, this butterfly takes to enter bush. So if jokingly and beyond the way we have always handled this, Fubara becomes a victim, probably he loses his life, we will say it is also politics, right? Please, this is an appeal to whoever can really leverage the situation at this moment, including President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Two questions, sir.
Let us do right by our people, please. Let us do right by our people. If it's not constitutional, if people are going to take extra measure in order to destroy whoever they think is powerless at this moment, people should think twice. People should be able to appeal to their conscience. You know, old age creeps in on people very fast. That time is going to come. Nweke, who allegedly was born in 1967, we don't know if that is true age or whatever, because he's capable of anything, at least from what he did during the election of Fubara himself and the election of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Is capable of all kinds of things. So now, is he thinking of that time when he will grow old? If he looks back, would he be proud of what he is doing now? a minder of his in the media said that, oh, if there's no trouble, if they're not talking about a politician, then that politician may not be seen as being of some consequence. What a twisted way of looking at life. So you wanted to ask me 2 questions, Ola?
Yeah, is Nweke lying? Is he lying? I need to get what do you think is going on with this guy? Is he lying? Is the wife lying? What's going on here?
He may be having an epiphany. Who knows if that is his on the way to Damascus experience? Who knows what has befallen him? Probably is doing all those things under duress. Nobody knows. We don't know for a fact. That is why I'm saying that anything is possible in the world in which we live. Not just only in Nigeria, the world in which we live. Second question, Ola.
No, that was a question. That was a question because again,
yeah, you said this, 2 questions.
No, I said quick question.
Yeah, okay. Concerning the wailing from the wife, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to say that in a condescending way. I mean, with all sense of empathy and understanding. But it will be difficult for any right-thinking adult to get into a squabble between a wife and the husband, or whatever opinion they are maintaining. Who knows? If they are being dramatic, all well and good. If they are being sincere, all well and good. But I know something does not look right there. You can hardly find any head of service coming out to say those kind of things, because there's another version that said, what's it called? A convoy of the Speaker of the House of Assembly was sighted by the police, around the police, and that facility actually was sighted. I mean, it sighted close to the police command in Rivers State, and that people only allowed the convoy that went in there the night the place was bombed and burnt to pass through, because they saw the sticker and the insignia of the Speaker of the House of Assembly. And you know that speaker, the said speaker, has not been a political associate of Governor Fubara since all this palaver started. So that is another kill, another view to the kill. So if Nweke is alleging that, the governor did this, handed down a bag of money as if something was handed down to Judas Iscariot, it's just this bag of money.
Yeah. So the likes of I think Rufai. Okay, maybe I don't remember if Rufai was like that. Rufai from Arise News. Dele Faro to me for sure.
Rufai
Oseni. Dele Faro to me for sure. A couple of people are saying like this is none of your business. Like, don't let these people fight themselves. That they are basically cut from the same cloth. Fubara and Nweke. What do you say about that?
That is the attitude we are all adopting. But again, sometimes you look at, somebody benefited from an unconstitutional situation, arrangement. Now they're having their imbroglio. Yes. It may look like, we should allow them to, but that element of constitutionality has been brought into it. It's been brought into it. If you want to really shake the whole thing down, whether it's Nweke, Fubara, all of them that perpetrated the fraud they called election, that brought Fubara to office, ought to be in prison by now. Yes. In fact, from what an insider told me, I also have my sources in Rivers State. What an insider told me was that Fubara stopped being a good altar boy to Nweke the moment he started facing the reality that his immunity will be off one day. Nweke will not be there. After all, when he was being chased around by EFCC, Nweke was not. It was at the point at which Fubara had his epiphany. his change of heart, that revelation, he saw the light that it would not be used as a proxy to steal money for Nweke. That's what that source told me. And that was why he stopped being a good altar boy to him. I do not know this for a fact, but that's what I was told by a source. So they should search themselves out. And when you look at it, that the people, the vast majority of Riverians, people of River State stock, are not benefiting from this problem, this debacle. You will understand that there should be an ultimate resolution, and it has to come fast. Thank you.
Thank you. You're watching Sharp Edge News TV. Do us a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe, and follow. Join the conversation in the comment section. We look forward to it. We appreciate you for your support always. Hopefully you've been enlightened, educated. We'll see you on the next one. Take care and God bless.